Hello, Han. It's Robert Lunte from the Vocalist Studio. It's great to meet you. Seems that you might be from Norway. I was in Norway last year for the first time. I went to Bergen, Norway, and to do some vocal therapy work with some research people there. So it was a beautiful country. It's good to meet you. I went out and I listened to you sing in your tune, and you have a beautiful voice. It's quite lovely. One of the first things I wanted to just ask you, which is not something you asked about, but it's something that I wanted to run past you. Your vocal approach, style, it's really not about style, it's really sort of more about the training and the motor skills, is sort of has that heavy classical sound, and it relates to your questions. So it's that sort of heavy baritone sound going on. And I'm just curious, I'm going to ask you a really good question. Are you singing in that heavy classical sound because you want to? Because it's a sound color and a style that you love? Or are you singing in that heavy sort of classical vibe? Are you doing that because that's what you were taught to do? Now, I don't know the answer to that, and either answer to that question is perfectly fine. I'm just curious. And maybe you can reply back and let me know what you think about that. Now, that ties into your concern about saying fullness is not consistent. You said, well, my fullness is not consistent. Well, as you go higher in frequency, in order to sing the higher notes, which we did not hear in your video, by the way, you need to thin out the vocal folds with cry vocal mode. So what I'm saying to you is, if you want to get consistency in the sound color and the feel of your voice, as you go higher, especially at around A sharp 4, the note that you were concerned about here and above, you need to learn how to get command and control of the cry reflex. That is to say, to learn how to try to thin your vocal folds out as you go higher in frequency. Now, this is a technique that's not very difficult to learn, actually, but it does take a little bit of practice, and it's something that I work with my students in every lesson quite frequently. And what that does, it allows you to achieve higher notes with consistency in the sound color, and it gives you amazing agility and flexibility, physical agility in the voice. Pharyngeal constriction, choking and pushing goes away, and your vocal fold compression, the adduction, increases. So one of the things I'm advising that you do is you look into developing command and control over vocal cry mode, okay? And again, it's something that I teach and I can help you with in a lesson perhaps. Says here, A4, need to modify, yes, up around A4, from about G sharp 4 to A4 and above, you need to begin to modify the vowel to a resonance that will lift the soft palate, okay? So what that means is I want you to do an active vowel modification of ah. I want you to add a little bit more ah-ishness, as in ants in my pants, okay, to the existing presentation vowel that you're singing. So when I say presentation vowel, I just mean the vowel color that the audience has to hear in order to understand the lyric that you're singing. That's the presentation vowel, or sometimes we refer to it as the primary vowel. But inside that presentation, primary language, lyric color, are other colors, other vowel colors and resonant colors that are added to that. When we bring the additional vowel colors in to the presentation color, we call that formant tuning. Okay, something you may have heard about. So what I'm saying is at about G sharp 4, A4 and above, in order to sing more freedom on those higher frequencies, one, thin out your vocal folds in cry mode, what I was talking about earlier, and two, actively modify just a little bit of ah-ishness into your singing, your lyric vowel color, okay? And that will help you a lot, guaranteed. All right, so if you do what I'm suggesting to do, if you learn cry mode, learn how to thin out, okay, above, well, actually on all of your notes, but in particular, when you get up to about G or G sharp 4 and A and above, while you're thinning in cry mode, you're going to add a little bit of ah-ishness to the overall resonance tuning, okay? The combination of that formant tuning and the physical thinning of the vocal folds will help you to sing amazing all the way up to all the way up to C5 and D5 and all those high, super high notes. Okay? And again, the last thing I'll leave you with is just an interesting thought. If that heavy classical style and sound that we saw in the video that you gave me is what you want to do for the rest of your life, and that's great, fantastic. I think it's beautiful. Your voice is very pretty. However, if that heavy classical sound is, you're doing that because that's just the only way you've been taught, I want to encourage you to potentially look at some contemporary vocal training techniques that can help you to get more agility in your singing, okay? Because that heavier, thicker vocal fold position that you get from the classical training can actually be an impediment. It can prevent you from having agility and movement on the high notes that you're concerned about. Okay? So Han, I hope that's helpful for you. And if you want more feedback, we can do this again, or contact me at thevocaliststudio.com. Go to the contact page, contact me. Maybe check out one of my training programs or a private lesson. But I'd love to help you again. Have a good day. Hey, if you liked the video, subscribe and click the little notification bell thing. And go out to our Facebook group. Go to the Vocalist Studio Facebook group. It's awesome, exploding with activity and community. Thanks for watching.